Hello everyone, welcome back on the AgriAdventures YouTube, Facebook and social platforms. Today during this 50 minutes interview we will speak with Jeremy. Jeremy is a chef that works in the Angler in Stirling. Angler is a fish and chip, but it's a special fish and chip because it's designed and dedicated to communicate fish sustainability on the South Australian market. Enjoy it. Today is a special 50 minutes interview on AgriAdventures. We are with Jeremy. Jeremy is the chef of the Angler. I'm not sure if I pronounce it properly, but it should be. And then the Angler is fish and chips. Is that right?
Yeah, so we do wholesale. So Sam is the head chef. I'm stepping out a little bit more out of the kitchen to talk and teach people about sustainability.
Mhm.
Amanda is the owner, and what we do is that we sell whole fish. We sell fresh whole fish. We age fish. We're the first one in SA to do it. So it matures the meat. It tenderizes the meat. It's better for sashimis. It's better for wood fires. And we're called Angler exactly, and we're situated in Stirling.
In Sterling.
Yes.
Okay. Jeremy, you have an interesting accent. Where are you from?
Well, it's kind of complicated, Simona. Let's just say I'm half French, half Dutch, and my dad's from South America. So no, I don't speak Spanish. I do speak French and Dutch.
Okay.
And I grew up in Holland, and I did a lot of my cookings in France, Belgium, England, Spain, a bit of everywhere.
Okay. When did you came here in? When did you come here in Australia?
I came in last year. It was an idea to just do a working holiday visa and explore Australia, earn some money, and then explore the rest of the world. The idea was so I started on Kangaroo Island. Unfortunately, because of the fires, I lost my job. The house that I was living in was burned down, and I lost a lot of stuff. So we had to evacuate with my best friend at the time. Well, still my best friend, but we had to leave. She went back to Holland, and I found Angler that opened up 3 days before I started. I walked in, started as a casual chef,
Mhm.
and then became the head chef. And then I said, I want to take a step back. Sam is the head chef. I focus more on the dry aging and on the, what you call it, educational part of the business.
Education. So that's why one of the motives why I got in contact with you is because you're doing this sort of education and in terms of sustainability. But before moving to this topic, I was wondering why did you choose to become a chef?
The thing is with being a chef, I'm somebody that is very emotional, right? I get through all the emotions. I speak what I think. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes not the best idea. Politically correct is something that's very difficult for me. So every when I was sad, angry, whatever feeling I had, I was always in the kitchen, and I found it very interesting. So I started my studies. My mom was was a lone parent, so I didn't have my dad growing up. So my mom was never there, so I always had to cook, and I actually loved it. And my mom coming home and making her happy with food and calming down for once. So basically, taking care of people and hospitality. A lot of people forget. Hospitality is about being open. You're inviting somebody in your house. They're a guest here, and you want them to make them feel special. And I love that. I can make them feel happy with something I do, which I love. And it's yeah, smiling, making people smile and blow their minds, and making them forget about the rest of the problems that they have when they step out again.
Okay, so you were speaking about the angler a little bit. I came to visit probably a month ago, and I was trying to understand a little bit about the format. So, why this idea about the angler? What's happened? Why they decide to open the place?
Well, the anglers started. It's a complex, especially with COVID hitting us. It was very complex because it started with Amanda and Sam. Sam is, like I said, a chef, and Amanda is a passionate environmental, love the community, and like I said, food gives you that happiness, right? So they were. It's a stupid story, but it's a very true story, and it's a really honest story as well. They were sitting together on a bench, and they had ordered, unfortunately, but fish and chips, and the chips were small, they were shit, they were not made in the house. The fish was not fresh, frozen. And they looked at each other, and Amanda's a businesswoman and Sam's a chef, and they looked at each other and say, what, why is it so hard? We got potatoes. We get the potatoes 20 minutes from us. We're on a damn island, the biggest island in the world, and it's hard to get fresh fish. So they said, let's do this, right? And when they started that, that's the concept they started with. So when I came along and I saw what they were doing, I fell in love, right, with the passion and the idea that came to it. And I was drawn by the dry ages because we're trying to break ground, something that has been is they've been doing for a while. The Japanese love doing it, and it's dry aging fish, right? And it comes back to using the whole fish, because using the whole fish is a part of sustainability. So we are very keen on the no plastic. We are very keen on using the whole fish. And this is how we promote the business as well. We like to sell the whole fish, because the thing what people forget is that the more people touch your fish before you buy it, the more you have to pay for it.
That's
And
why.
it's all about that affordability. So we've got whole fish in, so people can cook them whole in the oven, and we can tell you where the fish
Oh.
where the fisherman comes from. Sorry,
Oh, well.
where the fisherman comes from, who caught it, when did it come out of the water, why is this fish sustainable? Why do we not choose this fish?
Okay. So if I understood well, people can come over there and they can buy fish and take away.
Absolutely.
Okay. And can they buy in house what they can eat over there? Can they?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a wood fire, got fryer. So we do everything. We try to set a new standard for fish and chips, right? Because the thing is, what I said in the beginning, it's all about making somebody happy. It's an experience. So I'm sorry, but what is making you happy when you go into a fish and chip shop and you have to buy frozen stuff and it's all mushy? You don't have the experience. You're just feeding your belly, and that's not what cooking is. And so we're trying to set the bar where it should be, and we're not trying to be the best of the best of the best, but we're trying to show people this should be normal. And sometimes people go, oh, it's unbelievable. No, it's normal. This should be it. So we do wood fire where we grill whole fish, octopuses, squid, calamari, same thing, prawns, whole crabs, all that. And then we've got the classic fish and chips as well. So we got stuff like beer battered fish, crumbed fish, grilled fish, all those, and then our hand cut chips, obviously, that go through a tremendous process. And we know the farmer as well, and his stepson comes in the shop all the time. So it's all about connecting people back to where food come from. With a country this big, where there's so many recreational fishermen, and so little people are actually connected to the fish they buy, that unfortunately a lot of people that come into the shop don't recognize the fish. It's hurtful because they should, right? They absolutely, unfortunately, they should know roughly what their fish looks like. This is why we promote whole fish as well, so they can actually see, oh, this is a kingfish, this is a tummy rough, a garfish. This is how fish should look. Straight-in salmon, one of those beautiful fishes, right? So that's why we're trying to connect people. They can cook at home. I'm in the front. I'm always in the front, and I'll tell you, if you want to cook your fish, I'll give you a 25-minute course on how you should do it. Absolutely. Hospitality back. It used to be just for the kings, and now everybody that comes in our shop should feel like a king. You should go, all right, I'm happy now.
And so where like where is the shop located?
So we're located on the main street of Stirling, and we're opening up a restaurant next door, which used to be the Commonwealth Bank. So it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to have seating and people come in and have a great time with us.
I know that it's possible to know more about you through a couple of platforms. I think you have a website, is that right?
Yeah, so we've got a website who is called anglerstirling.com.au. We manage our Facebook page as well, Angler Stirling, and then our Instagram. And our Instagram, that's the one that we put the a 1,000,000% energy. And the reason is because Instagram is something that goes very quick. It's spontaneous, and it's very quick and fast. And we do Instagram live TVs, and I don't like to edit things because I like to be transparent, and that's what our shop is. Transparency is one of the key things to sustainability as well.
Okay.
And that's why our Instagram, that's where we do live videos. We explain about sustainability. We explain about fish. We talk to I don't have the degrees in science, so we talk to people with the degrees in. We've got a shark expert, scientist, PhD. We've got the manager of the Good Fish, which is an associations of Australian Marine Conservation Society. So all these people help us understand and explain to everybody else. We even got a geologist that is explaining to us that these animals have been here for millions and hundreds of millions of years, and in less than 100 years we managed to screw it up. And that's one point of the conversation, but the other point is, how did we screw it up? And then it goes, how can we help fixing the problem?
Trying to communicate the sustainability behind fish, the appeal of fish production, fish consumption into the environment, but making it an experience that people can enjoy without feel squished about all this kind of technical information.
Exactly, because I'll give you one example that I like to use because it's the most straightforward answer, right? When you go to a butcher, do you ask for beef or do you ask for a piece of meat? You ask for beef, right? Well, with fish, for some reason, we don't do that. We don't say, I want a mulloway. We say, I want butterfish. And then we don't know which fish it is, right? So, and with flake as well, we got over 300 species of shark in here. And yet people are still okay to buy flake without knowing which species of shark they're eating. And some people will eat a flake and then you order it together, and then one will have an endangered species and the other one will have a shark, which is fine. But that's what I'm trying to explain to people, is that why are we picky with meat? Why do we say beef instead of meat? Because if you go to the butcher and you say, I just want meat, I can sell you a piece of sirloin dog for all I care. It's meat, right? But that's not what we do. We say beef, we say pork, we say chicken. Same thing with fish. We should say salmon from that area because I don't trust the farm, or kingfish from there because I don't trust that wild caught because the stock levels aren't healthy. We should open up our minds, ask more questions, and be curious about where our fish comes from.
The market needs people like you guys, that you are transferring this information from the market to the final customer, because in the market especially, this kind of work is hard. It's hard work. It's really difficult and complex, and often businesses, they do not have time or money to go in these details. Like
No,
they can't do that because they have a quick rotation, or because simply they have to stay afloat, especially in this time. So what is the vision that you have?
the vision that we as a have as a business is that people start opening up their brains and start thinking about what they're doing to the environment. I don't believe going from one extreme to the other extreme is a good answer. I never believed that. So with everything in the world, you need to balance, right? You need that balance. So our goal would be that fish and chips has a new standard. We don't accept less, right? So we don't accept the fact that our potatoes that we buy in the freezer and they're frozen, and you look on the back of the potatoes and sometimes you'll see 75% potatoes and you go, what's going on with the other 25%? Or questions like, are your chips gluten-free? Those questions shouldn't be there, because yes, it's gluten-free. Of course it is, right? I think it's okay if people, instead of 100 kilos of salmon for $10 a kilo, they buy less and they buy a good quality, and they don't mess with nature constantly. Basically, we're on Mother Nature's side, because when Mother Nature has no mercy, right? She's gonna snap and everything's gonna be done. And there's even experts saying in 2040 or in 2048, there's no more seafood. That's a nightmare. I can't believe that's actually, that there are scientists saying that, right? If that's true, that's really, really worrisome. And we need to wake up and say, okay, what can we do? And the only thing you can do is ask questions. Yeah, that's all I ask, is people stop buying cheap shit and ask questions. Where does it come from? Is this okay? Stuff like that. It's really important to be curious about where your food comes from.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, we're doing, so we got a master class to 17. So
Okay.
so the half the class is we're gonna split the class in twos for 12 people, and half the class is basically gonna do an hour with me, I'm gonna teach you all about sustainability, the ins and outs, and what I found out, and what worries me, and what surprised me. And it took me a good 10 years to understand what is going on, right? Because nobody talks about it, right? We good quality food. We're trying to break through that and see and understand, and we're not that big, but we do everything we can to make changes and make people think, because it's a domino effect. You have one person start thinking, he's going to talk to a friend, and they're going to start with the master classes. That's what I try to achieve. I make you think, and Sam is going to show you actually two different types of filletings, so you get more comfortable with fish, because a lot of people are not sure when it comes to fish. It's always one of those produce that people are still amazed it doesn't smell. It shouldn't smell, people. Fish should not smell. Yeah.
Okay, so for the people that's following, you know where they are located, you know where Jeremy is. So if you are interested to know more about fishes, and sustainability, and also have an experience in which in hospitality should be the normal, you know where to go. I think we can stop over here for today. You said a lot, and then all followers, they will have to process it a little bit before
Yes.
come back. Thank you very much for being with us on the radio, on the YouTube channel, on Facebook, Jeremy, and see you the
And
next time over
well,
here.
Simone, just as an exit, I want to thank you for what you're trying to do as well, because we need more people like you to actually say, "Hey, listen, we need to be more focused on this stuff." And what you're trying to do and what you're doing actually is absolutely admirable. And a lot of people are using sustainability as a marketing tool instead of a way of life, and you using it as a way of life. And I want to thank you, because people like you is exactly what we're about, and it's exactly what is going to help the industry as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Love.
Love, always love.
Okay. So, what do you think? It was a really passionate interview. Jeremy is really passionate about the concepts of sustainability. As he's doing, he's actually stepped down a little bit from the position of the head chef and looking to move more in communication and education. So he's organizing now this masterclass you can find on the Angler website, and also you can find his topics on the different socials that he mentioned. If you did like this episode, please remember you can sign on it. You can go on the website agriadventures.com.au and sign up for the newsletters if you are interested to be part of some of these experiences that will go through the platform. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of 50 Minutes Interview on AgriAdventures, and see you the next time, always here. Have a great day. Ciao!